The quiet mill town of Newry, South Carolina, was chartered in 1893 by William Ashmead Courtney. The town was centered around the Courtney textile mill and was very community-oriented. By 1910, the initial construction of the village was completed, which enabled the village to be self-sufficient. The original village community included housing, a company general store, a church, a school, a company mill office, and the mill complex. Following the Civil War and Reconstruction, the textile industry took off in the South and became a prominent economic source, especially in the Piedmont region. A stable workforce, favorable climate, availability of raw materials, and cheap labor all attributed to the success of the textile mill industry. The small town of Newry is located in Oconee County and is approximately 7 miles from Clemson. Newry remains isolated by the Little River and the surrounding wooded hills. The Registered Historic District of Newry covers about 250 acres and includes around 118 sites. William Ashmead Courtney was born in 1831 in Charleston, South Carolina. Courtney served as a captain for the Confederate Army during the Civil War and was the mayor of Charleston for 8 years. Courtney successfully influenced South Carolina legislators to establish the South Carolina Historical Commission. As an entrepreneur, Courtney and his manufacturing company began construction in 1893 on the Newry Mill in the surrounding town after he purchased 350 acres from John C. Carey. Courtney paid close attention to the construction of the mill town and to the well-being and comfort of the employees and their families. Courtney died in 1908 and left the mill to his sons, who managed the mill until the 1920s. In the late 1920s, the mill was sold to the Issaquena Mill Company and then later sold several additional times until its closing in 1975. Cheap labor and a lack of labor laws enabled Courtney to capitalize on the textile economy in the Piedmont region. The labor cost in southern mills was about 25% cheaper than those in the north. In 1890, the average weekly wage earned by mill workers in Massachusetts was around $8.05, while mill workers in South Carolina only made around $5.17. Due to a lack of child labor laws in the South, children also provided a cheap source of labor for mill owners. Prior to 1910, church services were held in the community hall that was located on the second floor of the company general store. In 1910, the Union Church opened and served both the Baptist and Methodist congregations. These two congregations had alternate services every other Sunday. The Lydia Baptist Church was built in 1952, and the Union Church was renamed the Newry Methodist Church. A few other churches were built in the area in the following years to serve other denominations. Like other mill villages, Newry had a baseball team. The town had a mill-sponsored team as early as 1913. Baseball provided the community with fun entertainment as hundreds of people would go to the games on Saturdays and cheer on their team. Games allowed for the residents to also come in contact with residents from other mill towns that they would not normally see.